Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come in and sit on down because today we're going to be taking yet another look at book talk. We're going to be talking about smut books again. We've talked all about the book talk community on this channel before, right? I mean, we've talked about it 2 times now. This will be third. 3 times. You're out. It's essentially the side of TikTok that revolves around reviewing and discussing literature, right? You might see somebody who's just like, these books are my favorite thing of all time. This is my reads of March or something, right? Book talk. Book talk. Of course, we know that this community is not as wholesome as it sounds, right? As with any other subculture online. And in fact, the much spicier sub-community, Smut Talk, can be downright degenerate, which focuses on the more intense and horny novels. Basically, people flicking their beans and beating their shit. That's what it is, right? You're flipping pages and you're beating and you're flicking and you're beating. That's pretty much what it is. And if you're new to this neck of the woods, you may not be aware of just how popular this genre of media has become. If you want a more recent example, look no further than the hit HBO program Heated Rivalries, the gay sports romance book released in 2019 by Rachel Reed.
Why do women fantasize about 2 gay men kissing?
That unironically tasted like sour cream.
Why do men love watching 2 women kissing, Nick? Is it just because it's like, that's different than what I normally do? Is it that? Or is it something where it's also like, is it the fantasy that at any point the person can be like, maybe they'll ask me to join or whatever? So then Rachel Rachel Reed is like, maybe these 2 hockey players will invite me in and pig roast me. Okay. What if it's that, right? I mean, that's gotta be what it is, right? Or is it just the idea of just being like, you know, 2 chicks or like 2 guys and you're just gonna be in a peephole? I imagine it on either side, it's spit roasting. That's for sure what it is. Lay me down and lock me up. Spit roast me. This massively successful series is about 2 gay hockey players, Shane Hollander and Ila Rosanov, who play for rival hockey teams whilst hiding a secret relationship from the world. They're big hockey players, you know, that kind of thing. I'd watched the first episode. He's all right. Just a bunch of guys blowing each other. You know, I was like, where's the butt slamming, dude? Where's that at? You know what I mean? It's a lot of sucking, which is fine, but then also too many time jumps. That's my biggest criticism. Too many. Or 9 months later, 3 weeks later. I'm like, did we just span the course of like 2 to 3 years? And he's just like, how about you come over here to my room 14-218? And the guy's like, hey, okay, maybe I will. And then he gets his, he's like, all right, I got to go. That's the thing. And they're like, and it's also like, so you won the big game. Also, I was kind of a bit disappointed. I'm like, I wouldn't mind seeing the guys play a little bit of hockey. It's not really about the hockey. It's about sucking cock and, you know, forbidden love or whatever. But at some point, I wouldn't mind seeing Rosanov win a big game, you know? I'm sure we're not making it sound as intriguing as it is, but that's what I remember. I don't know what to tell you. Heated Rivalries has people on a chokehold. Online, people are aggressively obsessing over it and hyperanalyzing every single romantic interaction they have like they're trying to solve a goddamn murder. Some are already admitting that they've rewatched the show as much as 25 times, and that, my friends, is gooners. Those are people gooning. How you gonna, I mean, if with any show, what and do watch it 25 times in a row? I'm talking they are doing some Morse codes or they are raw beaten. I'm telling you, it is raw beaten or it is Morse code. Spelling out Heated Rivalries over and over again. That's what's happening, dude. ET phone home. You know what I'm talking? Fans have even created a downloadable Sims mod that allows you to access characters modeled directly after them, including every outfit they've worn in the show, so you can accurately play God with your favorite heartthrobs. You know what I mean? With your favorite, you can do your ET phone home, Morse code action while playing Sims. Every person that sees you from now on, they're gonna be like, did you get into guitar playing? Because you're gonna have so much calluses on your fingertips. Yeah, smoke on the water, baby. He'll say, smoke on the water. 52-year-old Rober Eller is an avid lover of smut, but made the poor choice to listen to an audiobook while working in the office. For her, this is a common practice as she listens to 3 to 4 books in full every week. That's a lot. I mean, like what, a full book maybe takes 11 hours to listen to audiobook wise? I guess that makes a 40-hour work week. All right. I mean, it really is though. Clock in. And I am on the clock. Oh, you think she's like all normal walking through the office, whatever, and then she sits down and then she's just like, oh.
God, dude, her chair got a stink.
Okay, first off, the way you said that was unreal. Ah, dude, her chair got stank. Stinky. This video is sponsored by Hungryroot. Let Hungryroot be your personal shopper to avoid spending too much time and money on groceries. Hungryroot makes it incredibly easy to stick to your fitness and nutrition goals throughout the week. Hungryroot is your place for high quality food, taking the guesswork out of it and the bad stuff too. That's because they screen out over 200 different additives, including high fructose corn syrup, artificial sweeteners, and preservatives. Hungryroot also has over 1,000 grocery items, including ready to eat options, fresh fruit, protein bars, and energy bites. And if you have any dietary restrictions, Hungryroot has got you covered. Over time, Hungryroot will tailor items to your needs. Soon, Hungry will fill your cart with personalized items that you're sure to love. I love how convenient and easy Hungry is. It gives me access to healthy meals I can put together in minutes, like beef short ribs and creamy vodka pasta to keep my evening moving and my hunger away. Finding healthier alternatives is a breeze, from smoothies to salads and everything in between. Hungry has got you covered. You're gonna love Hungry as much as I do. For a limited time, you get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. Click the link or go to hungry.com and use code PAPAMeat. That's 40% off your first box and get a free item of your choice for life using hungry.com with code PAPAMeat. Thank you, Hungry, for sponsoring this video. Now back to the video. She recounts the time the handle of a door caught her wired headphones, yanking them out on her phone and loudly blasting the graphic scene for the entire office to hear. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a uncommon practice. Need to listen in private. Her boss overheard this and was appalled. He kindly told her to rethink the material she chose to listen to on the job. But she tells interviewers that this simply will not happen. Which also, I'd say maybe rethink it. I'm like, first off, Greg, it's a fucking book. Well, actually, I don't know. Is that the same as getting caught watching?
It is. It depends how graphic it is. Like if you pulled it
Well,
off.
I mean, from what we've read before, which I don't know, how are we reading a bunch of this shit again?
There's some reading.
All this, I mean, it's graphic to the point where, is there a difference between like actually seeing the act versus then hearing the act, whatever?
There's a difference, but it's similar in the sense.
It is. If it was a guy though, the guy, if he was hard at his desk, then you have an indicator. Hey, you stop that.
Well, I'd be like, you know, I was like, is this affecting your work? Because
just a guy with a full boner. The boss, is this affecting your work? Sir, absolutely not. I am hitting my quota. I'm gonna take my lunch break, and I will be back, and I will continue to hit my quota. He takes off his headphones, just like, it rolled her folds like a roll of pennies on his knuckles. Kind of a bit of a gray area, isn't it, Nick? Viewers below, you decide. Let them fight it out, right? I'm just saying, if you're getting wet or hard at the workplace, something's wrong. Can I at least say that? Not even, no?
Depends what you're getting wet and hard to.
It doesn't matter, does it? Give me a scenario where it might.
You get a random boner, and you get a little random wet from sitting.
Is that a thing? First off, if it's a sneaky boner, tuck into your waistband and be shameful and go somewhere else. Also, if I don't know if you're randomly wet, get a handkerchief and figure it out. I'm saying if you're like actively there. There's no reason.
You're at work. Unless that is your job.
Moments like this spark a debate about whether or not it's okay to read or listen to smut out in public, with many stating it's nobody's business so long as they can't hear or see it. I think that's fair. Some mom influencers will make relatable skits about how they drop off their kids at practice only to sit in their car and listen to absurdly horny novels. That feels awkward to me. They're sitting in like if you drop your kid off to a baseball field, right? Are they just sitting in the parking lot, full blasting like, he jammed his member inside her.
Those windows are fogging up, and people can hear.
It is kind of the floor. You're down the bayou now, aren't you? A couple alligators crawling to the back of the Honda Odyssey. Many smut lovers even goon as a community, watching TikToks that just display a single page of spicy material with the comments begging for faster uploads.
Buy the book.
No shit. If I was the author, I'd be pissed. Like, what the fuck? As you can imagine, many women are being made fun of for this deep obsession, and many rant about how they despise people who brag about how much they love reading, only to skip all the plot to skim through the scenes. Others are being judged by their real-life peers, like a 29-year-old woman who hosted a book club, only for one of her neighbors to notice her collection and call them trashy and desperate. Also, I'd be like, why don't you go f yourself? It's a book. Right? She held on to this anger for over a year, later donating 20 of the most explicit novels she owned to the neighbor's charity book drive hosted by the church, infuriating her neighbor even further, which is a power play. That is a quote-unquote power play. All right, you want a little book drive? Here's some books. Some authors try to draw hype for their own novels by giving a horny sneak peek, like Kayla Gross, who advertises her Christmas-themed romance novel, Scrooged for the Holidays.
I'm guessing she has sex.
I'm guessing that either the horny old man has to his way through Christmas, or it's like a 50 Shades of Grey kind of thing, or that movie The Secretary, where she's just like, oh, I don't know, Mr. Scrooge, can I get Christmas off? It's like, oh, if you suck my Christmas cock.
What I think it is, it's a female version of Scrooge, and every time she goes like Christmas Past or whatever.
The Ghost of Christmas Past, the second.
Yeah, she's getting plowed by all the Christmas.
Oh, yeah. Or put a synopsis. Does any of that happen? Yes or no? There you go. Over time, there have been more and more people coming out and admitting that their never-ending consumption of smut is affecting their real life. Whether it's being put in stirrups before surgery, getting a throat swab, or going to the dentist, smut fans are revealing that they are instinctively thinking about the horny scenes that they've read during the most mundane activities in their life. I can see that. If you're all bricked up all the time, there's no excitement. Also, I wonder if you're doing that too, does everything become sexualized, Nick? I went to the dentist and I was thinking about that scene I read. It's like, well, I don't know. Why don't you fucking not think about it then, dude?
You can't. Women's minds.
Can't. Since we last covered smut books, the world has only gotten more obsessed to the point where it might be getting out of hand, right? We might be getting to the point where we are not coming back. It might take over literature as we know it, right? Human writers cannot write books fast enough for the smut community to consume, which has resulted in AI stepping in and filling that gap, unfortunately. And now you can use tools like Smut Finder, an AI tool that can generate hyper-specific stories to fit any person's desire. When you use it, it asks you a bunch of questions, including how intense of a story you want, what kinks you're into, and what kind of personality you want the love interest to have. It's probably the most mundane, ridiculous thing. But if it's just specific enough, I can see people being like, this is scratching my itch. Thank you, Mr. Computer.
It's like, what is it? An ad lib. That should be a thing. Smut Talk ad libs.
Smut Talk Mad Libs.
Mad Libs, there you go.
Yeah, dude. He put a pineapple in my... Okay, guys, this is silly. Then the AI generates a story that you imagine, and tons of people have been hooked. One woman was ecstatic to find out that she can now use the website to fulfill her newly discovered stepdad fantasies through AI smut. Oh. So read that and immediately had a little bit of throw up my mouth, swallowed it almost instantly. Do a replay. That's where I swallowed. Another person claimed their roommate spent over 5 hours a day on Smut Finder, now that she's able to endlessly generate her ideal goon material, which is devious.
I need to send my brother this.
ChatGPT has recently announced that it will be allowing their AI model to generate erotica after originally banning sexual prompts earlier on. CEO Sam Altman,
Murderer?
You had complaints from one programmer who said you guys were basically stealing people's stuff and not paying them, and then he wound up murdered. What was that?
Also a great tragedy. He committed suicide.
Do you think he committed suicide?
I really do.
Have you looked?
This was like a friend of mine. This is like a guy.
CEO and definite murderer Sam Altman was very excited at the prospect of allowing gooners to use his platform and, in his own words, quote, treating adults like adults. Yeah, but Sam, doesn't it have other implications that you can use that to like blackmail people with fake nudes, get people fired from their jobs? Are we not treating adults like adults? I'm Sam Altman and I've killed somebody. A big part of why so many smut books sell is the sexy scenes that implant on a reader's imagination. Some authors have begun using AI to skip the whole imagining step and just recreate scenes from books in order to sell more copies. So now even AI has taken the imagination out of just like what gets you hard. I don't know. I don't even know what I think is sexy anymore. Computer, tell me. Your stepdad like finding you undressing in your room? Yeah. I'm wet. You might as well start calling me Bayou Billy, Mr. Computer, because it's getting swampy in here. Gross. It appears that smut is infiltrating other aspects of life too. More recently, people have decided that it's finally time to mix horny books with cooking and eating, because why not? Why not play where you eat? A book that has been blowing up on Smut Talk called Lights Out follows a nurse named Allie who is being stalked by a masked man named Josh, a cybersecurity worker and the son of a serial killer. Following the hype, the bookstore Books A Million set up an in-store merch booth for the book featuring coffee mugs, blankets, and magnets. They also sold Josh's Trail Mix, a basic bag of trail mix that referenced a single scene in the book in which Josh gave Allie a snack. Do you think that everything, even before the internet and stuff, do you think everything was still referenced like it was all goon material? Yeah, right, it was. I think it had to have been.
Before the internet?
Yeah. I think people have always been selling sex in this way. Like having a thing being like Josh's trail mix, you know, it is just trail mix, and then you do get your fingers all salty and you beat or flick your stuff. It is whatever. But that's been forever. That's been the same with like you buy a poster for your wall because you're looking at the poster of the person you like to do whatever, right? That kind of stuff. People have been using that forever. People sexually go in and buy things all the time. So what? Should we shame the smut talk people for doing the same thing?
No, but if that's a collector's item, I wouldn't open it.
Well, absolutely not. I would not be getting my fingers salty to smash or flick my stuff. I'd keep it, it'd be locked away only to be resold on some eBay site later on down the line.
We tried looking to see if we can buy some, but there's a Books A Million nearby.
Do they have the trail mix?
No, this is a collector's item.
The Goon Slop sold out immediately, leading to people making tutorials on how to make their own versions from home. It's trail mix! It's nuts and raisins! And if you have a soul, there's M&Ms in it. I don't trust anybody. You know what, healthy people, jump off a building. I said that and I was immediately like, I'm just saying, people who eat trail mix without the M&Ms, what are we doing? I mean, eat the fucking, I mean, come on. You can still have the healthy snack with some cashews and raisins. Throw a couple of M&Ms in there. Live life a little bit.
What about Skittles?
What? There's no trail mix with Skittles?
Yeah, I'm making something new, but
you keep that in your mind and you never let that out again. What about Skittles? What the kind of thing is that? You know, because I feel like you eat Skittles with anything. You're like, I got my corn, my steak, my potatoes, and my Skittles. As it turns out, there is a large market for smutty food. If you go on Amazon, you can find smut cookbooks that throw in steamy excerpts from famous smut books in between each recipe. We're making ravioli. Doesn't that seem inconvenient? All right, so 2 cups there. And I'm like, okay, well, here's a whole chapter on a girl getting railed. Let me flip a couple pages. I mean, what the
you know what it is? It's the cook times. What are you doing when it's cooking?
Ah, see, there you go. Let this cook for 10 minutes. And you'd be like, sit down and read this excerpt. By the time you're done with it, your noodles are ready to be put in or whatever. That's actually a really smart idea. But now you're getting wet or hard the whole time. Pampers. Hey, Hunter's tip. Hunter's tip. Make a adult diaper that isn't just for shit and piss, but it's to help conceal your boner or clean up those wet damps. Hunter's tip. Also, Pampers, seriously, if you take that, I want like a piece of that. But eating food from sexy men and women is not enough for some readers. Some want to be the food. There is a book called The Final Dip, which involves a woman being transformed into a chicken nugget and falling in love with dipping sauce. And I want to read it immediately. Oh, is it a thing now where it's like Honey Mustard's like, dip yourself in me, baby? And then Ketchup's like, that, come over here. You think that people would simply read this as a joke, but some got into it and thoroughly enjoyed it, describing it as erotic as they reminisced about their favorite sauces, which is some big girl energy, dude. That is some big boy and big girl energy. What do you mean you're reminiscing on me? Fuck, that takes me back to Honey Mustard. Oh, fuck, horseradish. Being fully torqued at work, just like in your khakis at work. Fucking barbecue sauce. Oh, fuck. In the book talk space, the dark romance subgenre has been blowing up more recently. This is where things start to get a little more insane, right? Which I think these kinds of subcultures always pop up whenever you have people that it's the itch, you know, it's just it's not as itchy as it used to be, so you got to keep scratching. You got to make your own itch. Got to go out in the wilderness and find some kind of plant and start rubbing around. The goal seems to be to push things to the most psychotic levels imaginable, something that people are feverishly getting off to. And in fact, this is nothing compared to the other novels in the subgenre. A lot of the spicier dark romance books that Smut Talk enjoys often include a trigger warning page. A full page! Hey, but watch out. There's a bomb. There's a bomb! One book in particular contains warnings for sexual assault, gang, and child, despite being a romance novel. This is a romance novel. We are a romance novel. And these are things, hey, just let you know, we're talking about all this stuff. Like, still about hockey players. It's like, this is about gay hockey players. It's like, yeah, but just let you know, we get into some dicey territories. The same book lists bizarre things like human centipede and proper use of holy water and knife play. Others will incorporate warnings for things like spider play,
Spider play.
I'm not even gonna get blood play, and of course, and not last, light breeding. A little light breeding. That's the crusty top of your creme brulee. You have to crack open. There are many books that include sex scenes directly incorporating gruesome violence. There's a lot of them. That's almost all of them. I'd say that's a big one. People just want to be. It's full on almost murder. It's murder. You can find people all over social media delightfully recommending books that include things like this, as well as non-con. Non-consensual. There are now parents having to explain to their kids, who are as young as 14, why they can't read the dark romance books they brought home because they aren't equipped to handle the intense subject matter. Hey mom, what's spider play? She's like washing dishes. Did you get into your father's literature again?
I was at my buddy's house one time. We were looking at movies, and I opened up a cabin, and there's like a black, like VHS DVD case, like huge. It's like 2 feet big. And I went to go for it. He's like, "Oh no, don't look in there." So then the entire night, my goal was just to get in there.
Of course, yeah.
To see what was in it. But he kept catching me. He's like, "What do I keep telling you?"
So you didn't get to see it?
No, I didn't get to see it.
What is in there? I'm wondering. Because yeah, you would think like, oh, it's just. Or I feel like it's like murder tapes.
Oh,
I mean,
I think it was because I don't know if I told this story, but one time, same uncle, different house, but he made like fried green tomatoes.
Same was it your uncle?
No, my friend's uncle.
Why are you at your friend's uncle's house?
We were hanging out.
Why was he at his house? Does he live there?
Yeah, he lived there.
Oh. Nick, what happened at his uncle's house?
Let me explain.
Okay.
He made fried green tomatoes, and we were trying it, and I dipped it in a little ranch sauce. And then I noticed there was a used tissue on the counter, and I grabbed it and like used it to wipe up.
I'm horrified.
And then he's like, "Oh no, don't use that." And he started laughing, and then I was just like, I don't know. First of all, I was like, why did I use a used tissue napkin? Later that night, we turned on the VCR, and he just had blasting. So I'm pretty sure he left out.
Why are you guys at the uncle's house though? Why are you hanging out at the uncle's house? What does that mean though? What is it? Why? Why there? Why not at his home?
Because it's in the country, and we could we'd get in trouble.
You can't get. Were you and your friend assaulted by his uncle?
No.
Since the majority of smut readers are women, the main love interest in these books are usually men, which allows many male content creators to personify book characters and profit off it, baby. Many of these creators wear masks and play into the mysterious man stereotype found in these books. But that alone won't get you views. If you want to build an audience, you have to be just as depraved as the people who watch you. And one masked man wore a bedazzled scream mask and made a video reacting to the size of each love interest in popular smut books, from biggest to smallest. Roll the clip.
I've seen that with One Piece. An artist draws each of the Straw Hat's cock.
Another account that goes by Rustic Abuse? Yeah. Jesus, that's his name? Yeah. Another account that goes by Rustic Abuse only posts dark romance thirst traps and loves to use audio from smut books in his videos. In a POV video, we watch as the man wearing a ghost mask vigorously... you, the viewer, while super horny smut audio plays in the background, and I just gotta say, it is jarring. I'm just gonna play play like a half a second of it.
Awesome. Huh? Yeah.
I'm gonna that's it. Okay. The comments were filled with waves of supportive feral women wishing this was happening to them. God damn, dude. Ark. If I was a jacked guy, I'd probably try to profit off this shit.
Well, yeah, why not?
This is what I'm dealing with, though, dude.
Well, women like that.
Women like this?
There's a thing for everybody.
The dipping sauce community did. Yeah. The chicken nuggies.
You can put a little dipping sauce in your belly button.
Yeah, I'm that guy from that book. See,
that'd be my fantasy. I eat a big Subway sandwich, fall asleep, and then a woman sneaks in my room and me off while I'm sleeping.
Jesus. God, why? I'm just saying dipping chicken nuggets in my belly button. God damn. God. Talking about eating a fucking cold cut combo and getting your shit off, dude. Good Lord. Another creator put out a criminally cringe video singing the 12 Days of Smutmas, dressed in some sort of Escape the Fate cosplay to a roaring crowd of boos in the comments. What? Okay. Other creators post full-on skit scenarios of masked men chasing women. One creator on TikTok started posting them last October and already has 400,000 followers from posting smutty scenes. In them, masked characters like Ghost from Call of Duty chase after women, choke her, and even tie her up in ways that can sometimes feel less sexual and more like a group of robbers breaking into a home to assault someone, right? That's what you sign up for. Oh, it's hot. Regardless, the Gooners have given it their seal of approval. They say, me like that. In our previous videos, we had covered some of the most insane excerpts to ever be written on paper. But if it wasn't clear, it's gotten worse enough that we got to do a little update, right? We got to dive in just one more time. Hey, we dipped our toe in the pool. We got to do a temperature check again. Let's start with the book Little Stranger. Don't like that already. I don't like a book called Little Stranger.
I'm imagining a little showing up at your door.
Dude, he is a bit.
Little person.
It has multiple scenes of the female lead being physically attacked, and in one scene, the main love interest, Malachi, is throwing the woman, Olivia, against a tractor and shoving a screwdriver into her without piercing the skin. Here's an excerpt. I pulled the screwdriver out from my back pocket, closing the distance between us and grabbing the hair at the back of her head, and shove her between the two broken tractors. Olivia screams, but it's muffled as I cover her mouth. Shh, I whisper. I hold the screwdriver to her throat, and her pupils are expanding. Her breath is uneasy, and the gaze in her eyes tells me she's enjoying this. So see, you thought that this was actually just a horror book until that last sentence. And that's how you get, see, that's dark romance. Furries have also broken into dark romance and have begun adding their own stories with such wonderful excerpts as, quote, with one final savage thrust, the doggy buried his to the hilt in her and hosed her insides with a massive load of hot doggy. You have to bleep almost all of that, first off. My God. The person who helped find these excerpts, why did they include that one? I demand to have them justify it right here. I did not put that in, all right? I just putting that out there. Some authors have gotten creative with how they deliver sexual actions. A quote from the book's Shadow So Cruel, for example, writes, I dipped my finger back into her... Stop fucking giggling, dude. I dipped my finger back into his ass as deeply as I could reach, teasing the little hole, drumming it from the inside. I'm just gonna have him keep explaining, because I'm also too, how are they getting this stuff? Where are they? How did you find this? Okay. To be a good smut writer, you have to be creative. This is evident from some of the older examples like Dissident, a 2007 novel that was dropping lines like, what the hell are you doing? Luke barked, her ass, saving her life. This, I will say, to me, this does feel like this is way more intense than the last ones. No one can set the mood better, however, than Charlie Knickerbocker. Be careful with that, how you say that name. God damn. In their book, Possessed. Quote, I smell sex in the air already. Nah, I just burped. Of course, these are pretty tame compared to the other books, and I quote, so goddamn hot, I squeezed her and then gave it a little slap, pulling a moan straight from the depths of her throat. If I were to reach between your legs right now, would I find... Ready for me? Yes, she groans, pushing into my hand, then... for me. Can you tell my mom to...
Yeah.
Hey, Missy.
I'm gonna lose my mind, Mom. I don't want to have to kill you, but I will. And sadly, some are straight up poorly written, and I quote, I let my eyelids flutter open and observe him observing every curve and angle and slope of my body, entranced by the entranced look in his eyes. That last one, I legitimately thought I was having a panic attack. Almost all of that we have got to bleep, right? We have got to bleep almost all of that, okay. It's true that many people report having much more active sex lives ever since they started reading spicy novels, and one woman goes into detail stating, quote, my husband knows library runs end with him getting slobbed up a minimum. Okay. Let me hold on, let me rephrase. My husband knows library runs end with him getting slobbed up at a minimum, and now he drops me off every Saturday with Starbucks, a lunchbox, and a book bag like the first day of school. I've never been so well read, and our headboard doesn't appreciate it. At what One married man pleads for help online after explaining that his wife reads smut practically all throughout the day, whether it's at dinner table or before bed. After 5 years of marriage, they now only have about once a month. Meanwhile, she'd read about 150 books within 1 year and spent so much time doing so that they no longer had anything else to relate to besides the kids. My God. Wow. 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 The smut epidemic has gotten completely out of hand as more people get addicted to the horny hardcovers, y'all. Now, authors like Quan Mills are tapping into some of the most intense ideas possible to keep up with ever-increasing desires to bizarre fantasies, which Quan Mills is one of the most prolific writers of our time. I will say that. Quan Mills is one of the most, if not the most prolific writer of our time. I will say that, and I will die on that hill. He has been on a roll recently, putting out some of the most creative smut books on the market, such as Pregnancy by Hoodwolf from Pregnancy by Hoodwolf from 63rd Street, or of course you can't forget Ho Yo Coochie Stank, a bacterial vaginosis love story. I mean, come on. Come on! At the end of the day, pornography and smut are both harmful in their own ways, right? Especially without moderation. They're not entirely the same, but both can absolutely become an addiction that warps one's view of sex and relationships. But at the same time, if you enjoy something in the privacy of your home, and if it's just, I mean, you know, at the same, it's a book, you know? Enjoy things to your own delight or whatever, but if you see that it's transforming your life for the worse, maybe consider stepping back. Otherwise, I say, plow ahead and have some fun. Gotta get through the workday somehow. Or you can listen to Creepcast. Creepcast. We have got to talk about the Uncle House thing. I'm going to stop recording because we have got to talk.